Hello everyone. So now let's look at an example here. So it says the temperature T in degrees Fahrenheit of a cold turkey placed in a hot oven is given by T, which is equal to F of T, where T is the time in minutes since the turkey was put in the oven. Okay, and so in the beginning it said the temperature T in degrees Fahrenheit of a cold turkey placed into an oven is given by this function. Okay, so remember again that T was in degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now I want to interpret the meaning of f of 50 is equal to 70. So note that the output value gives you the temperature of the turkey, and then the input value gives you the minutes since the turkey was put in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this here. So my output value, that's what's in yellow in the word problem, and then my input value is what is in green. Okay, so that's where I'm getting that information from, the output value. The value I get after I plug in the input value into the function, that's going to give me the temperature of the turkey. All right, and then the input value is going to give me the minutes since the turkey was put into the oven. Okay, so when I go to interpret this now, I see that my input value is 50, and then my output value is 70. Okay. So then this means after 50 minutes, since the turkey was put into the oven, the turkey is 70 degrees, right? Makes sense. Okay, so after the turkey was put into the oven for 50 minutes, the turkey is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, because it gives us the temperature of the turkey in degrees Fahrenheit. So that's how I formulated that statement here, because I use the fact that I know my output value is giving me the temperature of the turkey in degrees, and so since my output value is 70, then that's going to be the temperature of my turkey after it was put into the oven. And so how long has it been in the oven? Well, this input value is telling me 50 minutes after the turkey was put into the oven, or after the turkey was put into the oven for 50 minutes, the turkey is 70 degrees. Okay, so now this brings us to some calculus here. All right, so now I'm asking you, what's the practical meaning of the statement f prime of 10 is equal to 2? Okay, so now I'm asking you what the derivative of this function means when I plug in 10 and I get 2. Okay, so now let's go back up here. All right, and here, this part, I give you the general idea of how to form a sentence and interpret the derivative of a function at a point. Okay, so in general, when we want to interpret the derivative of a function f at a point x equals a in a word problem, we're going to use this template here to help us form an appropriate sentence. Okay, so here I'm saying at x equals, and then here I'm going to insert the context of the function f of x, or whatever my function is, and then it's either increasing or decreasing at a rate of blank, and make sure that you include the units. Okay, so this is the general idea of how you want to formulate your sentence when you're interpreting the derivative at a point. Okay. So, going back to here, I'm saying what is the practical meaning of f prime of 10 is equal to 2? And so now I'm also just going to note to you, right, that the derivative of 10 is equal to the slope of the tangent line at x equals 10, or in this case t equals 10, which in this case is equal to 2. Okay, and so remember now, because I know the derivative at 10 is the slope of the tangent line at 10, all right, that's a slope, which means it's the change in y over the change in x, rise over run, right? When we think about slope of a line, right, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, in other words, it was the change in y, or the change in your output values over the change in your input values. Okay, and so here I'm just going to write that this is 2 over 1, all right, and this just helps me visualize, okay, because obviously I can simplify 2 over 1, that gives me 2, and you would just say, oh, the slope is 2, but here, this shows me now, just writing it by 2 divided by 1, showing out that rise over run, I can now see that my units for this should be the units for my output divided by the units for my input, because remember, it's the change in outputs divided by the change in inputs, right? Or the change in y divided by the change in x, right? And so here at the top is going to be like my y values, so again, that's why I'm using my output value, the units for my output value, and the units for that was degrees Fahrenheit, if you go back and look at part A. And then here, this 1 is going to give me the units for my input, which was minutes. Okay, and I'm just going to extend this. And so really what this is saying is 2 degrees per 1 minute. Right, so here when I go to write out a sentence, I'm going to say, okay, at t equals 10 minutes, right, because that's the first part of my general thing. When you go back up and look at the general part, so at x equals, or whatever, in this case it's t equals 10 minutes, now I need to insert the context of my function. So the temperature of the turkey is, and now I need to figure out, is this increasing or decreasing? Well, now I need to go back to my slope here, and is this a positive number or a negative number? All right, so hopefully you guys tell me this is a positive number. All right, and so the fact that it's positive means that it is an increasing rate. Okay, so this means positive means increasing rate. Okay, and so you can visually like think about this if you think about the slope being 2 of a function. So let's just draw something over here to just get more of a visual. So this is y equals 2x, And if you look at this line here, would we say this is increasing or decreasing? And so hopefully you guys would say it's increasing, right? Because reading left to right, what's happening to my y values or my output values? They're getting bigger, right? So as x is getting bigger, my output values are getting bigger, which means this would be increasing, like this line here. All right, and so that's giving you an indicator that when the slope of the tangent line is positive, then we're going to have an increasing rate. Right? When the slope of the tangent line is negative, then we're going to have a decreasing rate. Okay, and so now I'm going to say the temperature of the turkey is increasing at a rate of 2 degrees Fahrenheit per minute.